today to celebrate a friend, to recognize someone that has given so much of themselves for a number of years, not just to the city of Gary, but specifically to the Gary Community School Corporation, and especially the Westside Theater Guild.
There's just a host of emotions, myriad of ideas and memories in this beautiful facility. It's been transformative, and I'm grateful. So may this auditorium continue to be a place where creativity is born, where voices are heard, where the light of inspiration never dims. And as is written in Matthew 5 and 6, let your light so shine before others that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. I thank you all for this extraordinary honor. May God bless you.
Did you know the City of Gary has a 311 app? You can report any non-emergency request right from your smartphone. Need help dealing with unfair landlords? Use the app.
Girl, I just don't understand. I'm paying rent, and my landlord isn't fixing any of the issues in this apartment. What should I do?
You know you can report it on the Gary 311 app. Do you have it?
What's that?
Let me show you. Just go to your app store.
Or maybe you need to request the birth certificate.
Yeah, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Okay. New technology. I'm in.
Let me show you.
And guess what? You can even report illegal dumping.
Look at him! Just dumping his garbage on private property.
Well, caught him in 4K. You know we can report him on the Gary 311 app and to GPD's Taste a Tip?
That's good.
Never feel frustrated again about an issue. Use the Gary 311 app to report all your non-emergency needs. It's a free application that allows users to report community issues, pinpoint the location with GPS, attach photos, and more. All right from your smartphone. Download the Gary 311 app today. Available on iOS and Android.
This is a very special day for the city of Gary to have this opportunity. Gary is a historic city, and it's truly a unique opportunity for us to be here. Almost 70 years ago, on April 22nd, 1959, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was here to accept the key to the city from then Mayor George Chacheras. Today, as mayor, I'm excited to welcome his daughter, Dr. Bernice King, to our city. She is a global thought leader, a peace advocate, and the CEO of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolence Social Change, the King Center, which was founded by her mother and is a legacy to her late father.
And nonviolence is first transformative for the self. So for all those who ever told you, or if you believe that it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, it means that you didn't allow it to work on you first. As you change, you begin to become infectious. I think that's what happened in the movement that my father led and why he was effective in very challenging and difficult times. He immersed himself in nonviolence, not just something that he picked up as a tactic to be utilized in various campaigns and demonstrations, but for him it was a way of life, starting with the way you think, and then it goes out into the way you speak, act, and engage. And so that's the work that we are doing at the King Center. It's very hard work and heart work, which means it takes much longer for people to get it, but I'm committed to carrying forth that part of his legacy.
What's up, everybody? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana, and I have a brief message. Listen, the health and safety of Gary residents is and always will be my highest priority. That's why the city of Gary, through the health department, along with code enforcement, the building department, and the fire department, has taken firm and swift action against several food establishments and grocery stores that violated some very important safety standards. These temporary closures are part of a coordinated effort to raise expectations and hold businesses accountable. But let me be clear, none of these establishments have been permanently closed. None of them. Our goal is to not shut down businesses, but to ensure they correct violations and meet the standards our residents deserve. In some cases, temporary closure has been the only effective enforcement tool after repeated warnings. Our residents deserve to trust the businesses serving their food. That's something that's extremely passionate to myself and this administration. We will no longer tolerate establishments that cut corners or compromise the public health of this community. Fresh, quality food and safe conditions are not optional. They are the standard. At the same time, we recognize that many of these establishments are vital shopping options for our residents in the great city of Gary, Indiana. That's why we're working hard every single day to ensure residents have access to food while these corrective actions are underway. The city has partnered with GPTC, our public transportation system, to coordinate transportation to other grocery options across the city for free for Gary residents. We've also joined forces with Dr. Ellen Zarletta of Indiana University Northwest for Center for Urban and Regional Excellence to study food deserts across Gary's 52 square miles and to develop a long-term solution to address this issue. That's something that we've been doing and working on for over a year. In addition, the city has funded the Gary Food Collective, led by LaRon Clements, which is already providing fresh foods and resources to residents throughout the entire city. Protecting public health is a shared responsibility. We encourage residents to report health violations to the Gary Health Department at 219-882-5565 or any building, fire, or code violations at 219-881-1400. The city of Gary will not stop holding businesses accountable, and we will work with them. I commend our hard staff working together collectively to protect the residents. With stronger oversight and enforcement, we're making sure every establishment in our city meets the standards and the safety of cleanliness and quality that our community rightfully deserves and expects. So as your mayor, I'm truly honored to come before you as we talk about some very critical issues. And this is something that's going to be a priority in years to come. Thank you.
The City of Gary Redevelopment Commission is now called to order. Good afternoon to everyone that is here today. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington?
Present.
Commissioner Dunham?
Present.
Commissioner Rogie?
Very happy to be here.
And President Stalling.
Present.
Let the record show that Commissioner Clemens and School Board Representative Johnson are absent from today's meeting.
Okay. Move to item number 3 on today's agenda is the approval of today's agenda. The chair will entertain a motion for the approval of today's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that we accept today's agenda. Are there any questions or comments from any of the commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
And President Stalling.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Yes. Item number 4 on the agenda is the approval of last month's meeting minutes. The chair will entertain a motion for the approval of last month's meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It has been approved and properly second that we accept the minutes from last month. Are there any other questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
And President Stalin.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Item 5 on today's agenda is the approval of claims. The chair will entertain a motion for the approval of claims.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that we approve last month's claims. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners?
I just want to say that the Finance Committee meeting did meet on September 15th, and we approved the 13 claims that's on the agenda.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
And President Stalin.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
We move to item number 6 on today's agenda, which is public comments on agenda items only. Has anyone signed up, or is there anyone here that would like to speak on today's agenda items only? If not, we will move to item number 7 on the agenda, which is presentations. We have our first presentation by Mr. Paris Robinson from the Gary Broadway Main Street Communities. Paris. Stand right here, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Stalin.
Good afternoon.
Fellow commissioners. I'm Paris Robinson. I'm here today to request on behalf of Gary Broadway Main Street Communities, Inc., as president and CEO of the nonprofit organization, a resolution to support our application for a Main Street designation of the Gary Broadway corridor. So I'm going to give you like an overview of what it is and talk a little bit about why it's important and why we should be doing it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So I did prepare some background information for you in front of you. The first page is a summary, and then the second page is the revitalization approach that we're using to work in partnership with the City of Gary and the Mayor's priorities, his administration, and also a map of the 3 downtown districts that we're proposing as part of the application to the Indiana Main Street Program, which is part of the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Don't let the rural affairs part of it fool you. They do also work with urban areas on Main Street. So just to start at the top, I did start at the bottom, just letting you know what we're seeking. Number 6 is request RDC resolution. We're grateful that the commission prepared a resolution for our application last year. We made the first round and didn't quite make the second cut, and so we're back at it again, and we believe that we'll have a stronger application this time, and we'll be successful. So why Main Street? It is the best available proven revitalization strategy, rural or urban, for downtowns, including the preservation and repurpose of historic, architecturally significant landmark buildings. And we have a number of landmark buildings in our downtown, not to mention the Methodist Church building that's downtown, as well as the Glen Park Public School building that I hear a lot about, people are really interested in, and also the Palace Theater just being among some of them. Our vision is to encourage, foster, and stimulate the preservation of historic Broadway and its surrounding communities in downtown Gary, Indiana, which is North Broadway, and then our Midtown area, Broadway, and Glen Park, which we are referring to as Uptown Broadway. Our mission is to receive, administer, and expend funds in connection with any activities related to our vision, and to do anything, any other thing or act incidental or connected to the advancement of that vision for our city. So if you take a look at the second page where it says the approach, so Main Street, it's a national credited program that states operate on behalf of the National Main Street Center. And the approach to revitalization is fourfold. It consists of, and you can probably maybe not read that, in the blue, that's economic vitality. design, organization, and promotion. That if you use these 4 things in concert, develop a comprehensive plan, one that's incremental, community-driven, establish partnerships with local organizations, public and private sector, builds on existing assets that we have, quality, then we can begin, and other things, we can begin to transform our communities, our community. In this case, Gary Broadway. So I wanted to let you know that it is those four points that make the difference in us implementing a successful revitalization foundation plan for Gary Broadway. Examples of nationally recognized Main Street in urban communities compared to Gary population and other significant characteristics. Just to remind you that our population stands at just under 70,000 people. At our highest, it was about 178,000 people. We'd like to get back to that number to be a thriving community once again. Some of the other communities that we want to take a look at and emulate in many ways, Macon, Georgia, population of 157,000, has been recognized for their Main Street, mostly because of the jobs that they've created and the businesses that they've brought back into their downtown. Detroit, Michigan, has a historic Black district, which we think fits some of the demographic of our community, called North End, and they have been successful in meeting those Main Street goals and being designated nationally. St. Petersburg, Florida, Deuces Live, another historic Black district, which I'm very familiar with, having led that district in part to get its designation as a Main Street community. I'll just mention 3 significant things in that community that happened. We were able to revitalize the surrounding housing by rebuilding, tearing down old public housing, rebuilding affordable, decent housing, creating low-income market housing there around the district, and changing the infrastructure. We worked with the city to improve water and sewer infrastructure lines on that Main Street. As a result of that, in addition to bringing in fiber optic lines and putting telephone lines below ground, we were able to attract a new campus, new college campus to that district. We were able to attract a arts warehouse district as part of that, and a number of businesses that went up in that district, in addition to a first Carter G. Woodson African American History Center that is on that street, as well as a Job Corps Center that is also located on that street. So a lot of things happen there as a result of being prepared and having the infrastructure ready to invite businesses and public and private investment into the community. A notable mention, of course, is Madison, Indiana, small population, kind of rural population, but they have been outstanding in their in the way that they've implemented their Main Street approach. So some of the key reinvestment statistics that we're looking to report on and to start integrating as we advance the Main Street approach here in partnership with the Redevelopment Commission and with the City of Gary. Total, in terms of promotion, we want to be able to look at total number of promotional events, total attendance of promotional events, and I'll talk a little bit about at the end what kind of events we've had that we believe that has been a real Kickstarter. And I mean the we in terms of plural, meaning the City of Gary, volunteers, partners such as ourselves helping to sponsor and support the events. Real estate and preservation. So some of the measures that we're looking at, including in the application, is total number of completed building and rehabilitation projects. So we want to be able to measure that. So let's say, for example, the Palace Theater is rehabilitated, and I know that there's some discussion about that from the last meeting. That's one measure, is the total number of completed buildings. And then the total cost of building rehabs. That's a way of us measuring how much private investment, private and public investment we're attracting. Total number of new businesses, under new businesses, total number of new businesses opening or expanding. I think recently the city held a small business mentoring workshop downtown recently. And so those are the kind of things we want to continue to encourage to help create businesses in our downtown districts. We also want to look at jobs created and lost so that we can make sure that we're on the positive side of creating jobs for what we're trying to accomplish. Like one measure would be total number of new jobs created, total number of buildings closings, and then you look at the net jobs that you get from that and report those out. Total volunteers. Part of what we do is driven a lot on volunteers. So if those of you even that are attending in the audience are interested in joining up with us to help revitalize our downtown, we welcome that. And we track that by looking at the volunteer hours as an asset towards making improvements towards our Broadway corridor. Public improvements, total number of public improvement projects. We look at those and measure those, and Gary has been at the forefront of that lately, and so we're real happy to see that kind of advancement. Total cost of public improvement projects. Housing, total number of new housing units. Downtown investment, and we want to look overall at the overall number of the total amount of private and public investment in the downtown. So we think that these measures will help us drive and help us measure our progress of success in revitalizing the Gary Broadway corridor with the 3 downtown districts that we're proposing. And so if you look at the third map, if you look at the third attachment, you'll see these are the downtown districts that we're proposing. It's a lot easier for us to break it down, and it has been recommended to us as a aspiring Main Street community to take it in bits and pieces. So we will be doing these in phases. So as I mentioned, there are 3 downtown districts that we're proposing. Downtown Broadway, which many of you know, that's anchored by our seat of government. We have Midtown Broadway, that is in many ways anchored by historic Gary Roosevelt for the history that's associated with that. And also 25th Avenue is part of that yellow patch there in Midtown. So Midtown starts at about 11th Avenue all the way to 25th. Okay, so for those of you not looking at the picture here, so downtown Broadway, of course, where we're at with City Hall all the way down to 11th. And of course, I would be remiss in not mentioning that we're also anchored by U.S. Steel on the north side of Broadway. So that's an important employer that we should not ignore as well. Once you pass the interstate, it's anchored by Indiana University Northwest, and it goes all the way up to 53rd Avenue. And that particular corridor, we're referring to renaming it a bit and calling it Uptown Broadway. So we have downtown Broadway, which is our traditional Broadway, and we have Midtown, 11th through 20 through the interstate at I-80, 94, and then once you cross the interstate, Indiana University Northwest up to 53rd Avenue. So that's the map that we're proposing. The one thing I did also want to mention was just to go through some of the list of things that, just to remind everyone that there have been some priorities and activity along Broadway that have been notable this year. And we shouldn't forget that, because it shows that we are showing the kind of activity and advancement that we want to see. The Broadway Lighting Project that the mayor spearheaded has made a big difference on Broadway. A vision and action plan for downtown Gary, a final report from Notre Dame by their School of Architecture, will help with the zoning and planning efforts that the city has as we expand and attract investment in business and growth. So kudos to the redevelopment team working with the city on those priorities to get that done. The public art murals project on Broadway. I was just talking to a citizen actually at the Gary Public Library, and he didn't know what I did. I was just there doing some work, and he said, I like those murals. He's talking to someone else. I like those murals. I just want them to continue doing it. It's really giving a good sense of feeling the place. And so I did walk up to him and compliment him, and he said, well, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. And then let me just briefly go through some of the other mentions here. There was a brainstorming community event for preserving and repurposing Roosevelt High School earlier this year. Of course, the 2300 Jackson Street block party that was part of the Elbow Room also joining in that weekend block party that included pole banners and just wonderful landscaping to make it an attractive event. Not to mention having the VIPs as part of that event, highlighting it. We also had the Juneteenth holiday in Midtown Broadway. Indiana University had its Hall of Fame celebration earlier this year. And not to forget the downtown Gary Marketplace. The last date is September 27th, is that correct? Yes. All right, so all of you come out if you can. And then love your block and neighborhood cleanups. When you can appreciate your neighborhood and clean up your neighborhood, everybody else notices too. And it also helps to make other folks become attracted to Gary Broadway and the communities around. So that's all I have. I hope you will give a strong consideration to our request to support our application for Indiana Main Street. It's a resolution. It's due by the end of October, so we have some time to work on that. That's all I have, unless you have some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Are there any questions from commissioners? Yes, sir. Ms. Dunn? Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Our next presentation will be from the Miller parking lot, updates from Ms. Corey Sharp. Ms. Sharp?
Good afternoon, commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Just wanted to give you a quick update on where we are on all the projects that kind of been floating around this year. The first one is the Miller parking lot. This is a parking lot off of 6th and behind Miller Pizza. Oh, look at that, it disappeared. Okay, well, right? We'll just have we'll just show it up here like this. The designers that you all hired was JQOL, and they have put together a bid package for a total of 98 spaces for this parking lot. That is not, that's a lot of spaces. We don't need that many spaces right now. So what we are going to do is break out the project and do a base bid for 42 spaces, which is half of the lot. And then we're actually going to bid the rest of the lot as an alternate bid. This is a method for us to get a price for it, and if we can afford it, then we can roll it into the project. Right now, we've got a construction budget that is hovering around $500,000. And we're going to try to get it in underneath that. One of the ways that we're going to definitely get it underneath is I've coordinated with the Department of Sustainability, and they are going to do to fund the stormwater side of this project. We'll have a little detention pond in here that will collect all of the stormwater that runs off the site, filter it out, and it will become part of they're called BMP's best management practices for the stormwater in this area. Stormwater is important because all of this, as you know, is a wooded area right now, and so all of this is sheet runoff. So them funding that will go a long ways to making sure that we're in budget. The other thing that I wanted to flag for you is that lighting is going to be bid as an alternate. Again, just to make sure that we can get it funded. We're gonna at least have one large pole light that will light the base bid, but any of the future lighting would be bid as an alternate. So our hope is we're gonna bid this out in October, and then for your October meeting, you can award someone. And then construction can start in November, right before the season closes. So that's where we're headed with that. Any questions on the Miller parking lot?
I do.
Commissioner Rogan.
Thank you. The 43 for half, where is that? North and south?
On the drawing here on the screen, I have the 43 highlighted in yellow. So this
Okay.
street right here is 6th, so
Yes.
you'll have a two-way intersection that comes in here, and you'll be able to drive around this parking lot like this for the 43 spaces.
And
It
what's
will have
that?
landscaping in it as well.
And what's on the right? What is boundary on the right?
Over here.
Would that be Lake Street?
Well, Lake Street is over here, and then Miller Pizza is kind of right here.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
All right. And the second thing is, this is in the geographical footprint of the RDA money that comes from the closest of the train station.
The Miller TDD.
Yes. And we have a friend there that,
I will ask. I will ask the RDA and see if there is any funding sources to help augment this, to see if we can build it all at once.
I did talk to Mr. Bittner months ago on this project, and he said, well, just get it together, because he's the one that put this in the footprint when he was here as executive director.
Great.
I do have a question for you.
Commissioner Washington.
Yes, RDA, wasn't their source of income NDOT, a portion of it? Indiana Department of Transportation? I could have swore part of RDA came from that funding, and that funding just got wiped out by the Trump administration.
I don't think so.
We can look into it.
Please let us know.
I will let you know. I'll come back with a report in October when we have the bids.
Okay, very good.
Yep. Okay, then the second update that I wanted to provide for you is around the Genesis Center RFI. We, you may remember, over the summer issued an RFI, which is request for information. This is well before an RFP or an RFQ. This is non-legally binding, is what does the community want to see in this space? We received 7 official proposals. I've gotten some calls and random emails asking continued questions about the RFI, saying, are we still accepting proposals or ideas? Absolutely. So if anybody wants to continue to offer ideas, we will continue to incorporate them. I would say that of the 7 proposals, we did have some common themes, and they all revolved around culture and entertainment. Specifically, there were ideas around a movie theater, cultural arts center, a civic media hub, and that including videography, in addition to 3D media, sports programming, and a culinary center. Housing, one of the proposals specifically talked about mixed use, where maybe it incorporates some of these cultural items and housing. And then hospitality. One of the proposals presented an idea around a boutique hotel. So all of these proposals, when we wrote the RFI, we asked for them what they thought the budget might be for their project, their idea, how would they fund it, and the project budgets ranged from no idea to 7 million all the way up to $120 million. And all of the projects that were presented, the ideas necessarily, let me clarify, none of these are specific projects. These are all ideas, programming ideas on how we can develop a project. And those funding sources would require a public-private partnership through TIF, federal grants, private investors, historical tax credits if the Genesis Center stayed, new tax credits if the Genesis Center went. We did not restrict the idea of should the Genesis Center stay or go. We let the proposers present their ideas, and some of them said yes, it should stay, and some of them were flexible. And then two of the proposals specifically said, no, we would demolish it and build new. Our next step is to issue an RFP, which is a request for proposals for this development. In order for us to be able to do that, we will likely get a round of appraisals done for this site, either for sale, for lease, or we will roll the project into a P3 agreement, and no appraisals would be needed if that were the case, because the land would remain a city asset. So we still plan on issuing a request for proposals by the end of this year. The mayor and his team are working on connecting all of these ideas and incorporating them into the requirements for the RFP. And then also trying to discern the best path forward for whether the Genesis Center structure itself stays or goes. That is still a topic of discussion. I'd be happy to take any of your questions on that.
Commissioner Dunham.
Just interested in the proposers. Were they local or all over the place?
We had probably about four proposals were local.
Okay.
One was from Chicago, and then we had one that came from outside of the state. So, and then I have been in conversations with another individual that's outside of the state. So that's we had a broad range.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions from commissioners? Ms. Sharp, thank you very much for your updates. Appreciate it. We'll move to item number 7.3, or 7C. Christopher Harris, the grid building and the illuminated street sign.
Sure, thank you. Let's see if I have that. Let's see if this works. There we go. Nice. Love when technology works. Okay. Okay. While my screen is downloading, here we go. Perfect. All right. So the grid building. Thank you, commissioners. Wanted to be able to at least provide an update of where we stand with Maverick Architects. So as you recall, in our last meeting, Redevelopment Commission meeting, we were able to enter into an agreement with Maverick Architects to help us understand our existing conditions within the grid building, which is 529 Washington Street. Since our last Redevelopment Commission meeting, the team had two opportunities to do a existing site survey analysis of both the exterior and interior of the structure. The reason why this is priority for Mayor is that we desire to figure out how we can help develop our leaders and our workforce, and this is a prime site within our downtown to be able to do so. The grid building, which used to be home to a federal task force, I think that building was vacated roughly in 2017. It's in our possession, 529 Washington Street, the Redevelopment Commission, but it's been abandoned ever since 2017. But we want to be able to figure out how this building could play a part in downtown Gary's future, and how we can also secure the structure as well. So we found a regional stakeholder that we're actively pursuing a grant partnership with the EDA. But even if that grant opportunity is not successful, this building is our responsibility, and we want to understand how we can at least secure the building and ensure that we can provide different opportunities for adaptive reuse. What we've been able to find and discover is that the building is indeed 37,000 square feet, 2 stories and a basement. and we're looking to figure out how we divide the space between this regional stakeholder to be able to help provide workforce opportunities for Gary and the Northwest Indiana region here in the space, but still serve our needs as a city. And with that, helping support our small business community with opportunities for business incubation space, opportunities for a gallery space to showcase art. We want to make sure that whatever we develop makes financial sense, because we will still be the property owner of this structure. And working with this regional stakeholder, we're going to be able to figure out how we can divide this space in a meaningful way so that it can generate revenue both for our stakeholder and ourselves as a city based on our needs. So I just wanted to be able to at least share with everyone the general layout of the structure and what it's our intent to be able to develop scope for interior selective demolition. I'm going to pull up the floor plate, see if that downloads. There we go. All right. Starting on the ground level here, for those who aren't familiar with the structure, in the past, this used to be a Gainier Bank. Before Gainier Bank, it actually was in the Montgomery Ward. And then in the recent past, it served as a federal task force office. But the intention is to be able to demolish all of the interior partitions and offer a blank slate canvas for us to be able to divide the space with our regional stakeholder and for our needs as a redevelopment commission or the city of Gary with activating space for small businesses and developing incubation space. But again, it was just more so reassuring that the square footage checked out with what's on the county records, roughly 37,000 square feet to work with. The building is generally divided in half, so you do have a demising wall in the center of the building, and you have a basement, a partial basement within the structure. I'm gonna go to the basement. There we go. So you have a partial basement on the north side of the structure. The building is connected to the parking garage associated with 504 Broadway. So we think that that's a great opportunity to work with the adjacent landowner to be able to help us activate this space for workforce training. And then the second floor space, half of the building, you have a general flat roof, and you on the north side of the building you have a rounded roof structure. So we have more ceiling space that we can work with on the second level to be able to provide, whether it be gallery space or just being more creative with what aesthetic we could create on the north side of the building. But I just wanted to at least share with you that the initial existing condition floor plate has been executed by Fabric after our last redevelopment commission meeting, and we're moving forward with our regional stakeholder to determine how we develop a clean slate opportunity to be able to adaptively reuse both sides of the building as we pursue this EDA grant opportunity to develop a workforce hub in downtown Gary. So, if there were any questions.
Are there any questions from commissioners? Perfect. Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. That's what we needed. Thank you very much. You can move on to the illuminated street signs.
Sure. So I just wanted to remind the commission that in January, we ordered illuminated street signage for the Broadway corridor from 4th Avenue to 8th Avenue. That signage was ordered and it was procured. It's currently in the possession of Public Works. It's the intention that our electrical installer, our field installer for our streetlights, Mead Electrical, will be installing that illuminated signage for us on our behalf. I did have a conversation with our city engineer who shared with me that they're just waiting on final approval from NDOT from NDOT and NIPSCO for their installation. So I'm hoping that we can have this illuminated signage installed before the end of the year. But I just wanted to at least remind the commission that, you know, we did make that investment. The actual hardware is here in our possession in Public Works. We're just waiting on final approval from NDOT for final install.
Any questions from commissioners? Okay, Mr. Harris, I did want you to revisit from the last month's meeting I think we had another presentation from Carriage House. We asked that they would come in. Are they present today?
They are.
Okay, can they take this time now and make their presentation?
Absolutely.
All right.
Templates, that's,
This.
oh,
That's
yeah.
what they're
Mhm.
Oh, sure, okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay. So first, I also want to, Commissioner Stalling, be able to introduce Rebecca Kick. Rebecca Kick, she's going to introduce herself as well, but just want to give an overview of where we are. So of course, we have our downtown master plan that was developed in May 2025. Both Rebecca Kick and we have Ali here with Carriage House is here to be able to explain what efforts they've done not only for this plan, but what they've been able to implement in their community, be able to execute their own plans for their municipality. So I want to be able to just be able to make that connection before the presentation.
Thank you. We've been waiting on this presentation.
Well, I'm really looking forward to telling you the work that we've done in the city of Kalamazoo with someone very similar to Kelly Johnson at Carriage House and the work that she and her firm would be able to provide to you when talking about pre-approved plans. One really big question is, what is a pre-approved plan program and what can it do for the city? What's the best way to create one? Well, pre-approved plans, they're not new. They provide the city a variety of building plans that can be available for public purchase for the community. One thing that we, when we were working with the University of Notre Dame, we really wanted our community to build our community in Kalamazoo. We know that we're not waiting for someone to come and rescue us. We're a small community, 78,000 people in Kalamazoo. We have a lot of vacant land. We have small developers and we have neighborhoods that have had missing empty teeth. I'll show you what our blocks look like. And so that's where we looked to pre-approved plans to be something that we could do on our own that could infill our neighborhoods. And like I said, this isn't a new idea. Sears used to sell housing plans to people, and you could buy these from Sears for a few $100s. They tell you what the material list is. You purchase those materials from your lumber yard, and you would build your home. So there are a lot of cities doing this work right now. The city of South Bend, Los Angeles, Seattle. Kalamazoo, we've joined in and we've looked at the work that they've been able to do, and then we said, well, how could that work for us in Kalamazoo? And I feel like the conversations that I've had with Marianne, with Chris, with many people in your staff, and Holly from Carriage House, we have a lot of similarities in goals and values and what we're trying to do in Kalamazoo as well. Because you get more than just the housing plans when you do this. The really great thing is that you're gonna get a better development process. When you start to think about pre-approved plans and actually handing over plans to a community member, to a resident, you've gotta make sure that you have cleared all the hurdles with your water department, with your building department. How are you gonna pull a permit? How are you gonna bring this whole thing together? Where's your water tap fees gonna come from? How are you gonna get this financed? We did all of that work ahead of time. And we walked along with every single staff member through the whole process, just like we were the ones that were gonna buy those plans and get this done. And so we found a lot of gaps in our development process, things that we felt like needed to be bolstered. There were some people who were touching the same piece of paper 2 and 3 times, and we thought, we gotta get this streamlined. We gotta make sure that we can actually say, this is one-stop shopping for this development. And this plan set really helped us do that and investigate that. So that's why I say, yes, you're gonna have a great plan set if you go through this process, but you're also gonna understand your building codes, you're gonna understand your approvals, you're gonna understand your infrastructure that's available, you're gonna have the whole package, you're gonna understand your zoning and how banks look at this too. So why did we choose to do these in Kalamazoo? Like I said, we had a lot of demolition, a lot of foreclosures after 2008, and a lot of demolition by neglect. So in many of our neighborhoods, we have 300 vacant lots that we need to get infilled because there's good stable housing that's there, but we know that stable housing needs more housing around it. We need to rebuild that community back so that we have walkable, good streets again. And we have a land bank in Michigan, and so the land bank owned a lot of our vacant lots after those foreclosures, and they had a policy that said you needed to have house plans and that you needed to have financing in place in order to buy a lot. And so that was another barrier that we removed by having that, they had that policy in place. And I understand they don't wanna just sell a lot and like not have something happen. So this way we can say, great, we have a partnership with the land bank. Here's how we can provide house plans and understand the financing too. So I will get to that. So we overcame challenges, zoning challenges, because we had some outdated zoning practices, really big wide lots, when our lots by standard platting were not that wide. And so we designed our houses to be more narrow and to actually fit on parcels that we had. Otherwise, you'd be demolishing 2 houses to just build 1, or you'd be combining lots, and that de-densifies your city. If you're a city like ours that runs on property taxes, you don't want to do that, right? Like, we need the density. We're in an affordable housing crisis. Like, we need to build on every lot. We also learned about appraisal gaps for new construction. We know that new construction can be very expensive. So what are the capital stacks you can use? What are the financing methods that you can use in order to subsidize some housing for affordability as well? So we'll talk about how we did that. So the benefits of this are you're going to get an expedited development process because you're going to walk through this whole thing. You'll have better built outcomes. You're going to know what these houses look like. You're going to see these construction documents, and you will know the quality of housing that will be built if you spearhead this process. You'll also be given a greater variety of housing options. A lot of folks might come in and just do a single family home, but the thing is, with populations changing and evolving, the life cycle that you go through in your lifetime when you just graduated from school and you need one kind of housing type, you might want to live in an apartment or a small home with maybe a roommate, but then later in your life when you want a family and you need a bigger house and a yard, but then you become an empty nester, and then you want to kind of go back to downsizing and have something smaller again. But you need all of those options in the same neighborhood. You don't want to have to leave your community just because you want to change your housing type. And so being able to have a greater variety of housing types, whether that's duplexes, single family homes, fourplexes, cottage units, it really gives your whole life cycle a chance to be in the same neighborhood and stay near the community that you've always been in. So that was very, very much one of our values in Kalamazoo. Another great one is the reduced development costs. We estimated that by doing these plans and offering them to our community, or even to Habitat for Humanity, we offer these plans to our other nonprofit housing development agencies also. that helps them save on the soft costs of hiring their own architect as well. And then we think about the potential soft cost savings is around $35,000 per home. And then you think about time saved in delays for design and permitting. And we say that that could anywhere, but depending on the size, like you're doing a fourplex, that could save you up to 9 months of time in just the design and permitting process alone. If you were just doing this house on your own and having to walk it through the whole process, this is kind of what we've seen in terms of cost savings and time savings. With the variety of housing that you have, you can use this as a wealth development tool as well. And it's very much, again, handing plans over to your community to build your community is a democratization of that neighborhood planning and building process. There are duplexes in our plan sets where if you were to build this and live in one side of it and then to rent out the other half of it and build an accessory dwelling unit in the back, you could basically live there cost-free because the rents from the other units could pay for your own mortgage. So this could be something that is also very good for multi-generational families that want to live together or can build together as well when you think about duplexes and accessory dwelling units. So definitely thinking about your zoning and having multiple buildings on a lot is something that I would suggest again, like as you think about pre-approved plans and the goals for your neighborhoods and development. So essentially, you're going to build a stronger housing ecosystem when you think about how to utilize these pre-approved plans across your neighborhoods. So what was our process for developing this kind of program? We did what was called a target market analysis to really understand our residential needs. And that's where we really dove into those values of aging in place in our community and understanding the evolving needs of our housing ecosystem, and that we only had either single family home as a choice or an apartment. Like that was it. That, you know, when you only have those two choices, you think the market's built on that, but it's really not. There's everything that's in the middle that people are really want to, and desire. We took that market study and we started to incorporate it into our city master plans and our city plans to understand how we needed to change that zoning. So we did zoning code updates to make sure that we could allow and build the plans that we knew that our community really wanted. Then we started to dive into that planning department data. How many vacant parcels did we have? How long did it take to get a permit? How many variances were we seeing with the types of plans that people wanted to build? So really diving into that planning data to understand what barriers we needed to remove in order to make this program successful. So from that, we selected our building types. We have 9 different types in Kalamazoo. We added what's called a fourplex, which is like a small apartment unit, an urban apartment unit. We have everything from the carriage house, which is the accessory dwelling unit above a garage, a smaller cottage house. We have narrow houses because our lots are as small as 33 feet wide in Kalamazoo. And that's a 2-bedroom house. And then we have a standard house, which is 3 bedrooms, and a standard house, which is 4 bedrooms. And the 4th bedroom in that house can also be changed into its own separate apartment. So if you, again, you have a family member who has needs, you could make that their own unit. And then we have duplexes that are top and bottom, front to back for accessibility reasons, to have 1 floor, and then also a side-by-side duplex, which is the largest unit, to have more like a townhouse style. Each of these plans has, again, a little bit of a tweak on the floor plan that you can choose. Like I talked about that 4-bedroom. You could add that on as a separate apartment, or you could add it on as like a lower level master bedroom too. So you can think about, again, how do I age in place in my own home? I could have that master bedroom be on the first floor. We also did a very deep dive into each type and a financial analysis for every one of these homes. Something that we chose to do in Kalamazoo was build with a nonprofit builder every time we created a new plan set. That way we could test it, kind of kick the tires, make sure that we were making the right assumptions in our pro forma for the quality of the house that we wanted to build. So we now have those, and I can make sure that Chris has this to share with you. We have all of our pro formas online, and you can take a look at them and you can see how much is that carriage house build for, how much does the duplex build for, and you can also run that pro forma as, do I want to rent this or am I going to build it for me? So you can do the pro forma in both ways, okay? And then to make sure that we got the architecture right, we did a context and a character study. And I know Holly's gonna do an amazing job talking about the houses for Gary and what are those patterns in the neighborhood that you see that you want to emulate, and then what are ones that you would bring in, because again, even in Kalamazoo, when we only had single family homes or apartments, we needed to fill in, okay, well, what does that stacked duplex look like? What does a side-by-side duplex look like? We had to kind of invent some architecture and some patterns in there too. We also did a variety of elevations on those homes. So there's kind of an A, B, and C option even on the single family home. So that this way, not every single family home is going to look exactly the same. You can choose the different porch option, the different gable options, and the different roof pitch option. So my key takeaways for you are, know your market, get that target market analysis done, and be realistic in that scope. Do the work on the pro formas. Definitely take cues from us, get those off our website and take a look at them, see how they work, so you can calibrate to your own local market and your local context. Make it adaptable. Like I say, you can do the different elevations and it doesn't make it more complicated. It just makes it more adaptable. And this is an opportunity to be involved in the inside workings of the city, how to get through that development process and make sure that it's really a smooth process for everyone. And then on the outside, engaging the community and making sure that those houses and those patterns are something that they're gonna be so proud of, in their neighborhoods as well. And have an implementation plan. How, like we did our models with our nonprofit housing builders at first, because we knew if we built them, one, there would be comparables on the market. Because when you go to a bank and they say, well, I can't find a up and down duplex in Gary, I don't know how to price that. Oh, well, here we built 3 with this nonprofit builder, whether that's Habitat or someone else. And so we put the comparables on the market for you. And when we did that, these are the photographs of the homes that we built. So this was our first up and down duplex. And these are some of our narrow homes that we built. And then this is what they sold for. So in Kalamazoo, the cottage house, we sold that for $145,000, and the narrow home sold for $193,000 in Kalamazoo. So thank you for allowing me to share that with you, and I will let Holly come up and talk about her thoughts.
Do any of the commissioners have any questions for Ms. Kidd? Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're so welcome.
this play. There I am. Hi, my name's Holly Michael Johnson. It's great to meet all of you. I am a co-owner of Carriage House Studio in Atlanta, Georgia. We are a residential architectural firm. We've been in business together for almost 5 years, but I have been in residential design working as a practitioner for over 25 years, exclusively in residential design. A lot of my background and work is in high-end residential. To be honest, I formed this firm with my 2 partners, primarily because we wanted to bring that quality of detailing and design to more modest homes. And we felt like we wanted to design we wanted to basically start a firm where we could access more people, access more clients, and so it wasn't exclusively high-end. To that end, we design houses that are modest, but with design strength and detailing that fits the style of each home. What is my connection to Gary? Well, I was part of the design charrette that went on in Gary last August, and I was fortunate to be asked to come and be a part of it. And there's a section in your Gary final report for architectural identity. And that was the area that I focused on. And so what that brought me, not only did I have the opportunity to get to know Gary as a city, get to know community members, get to know Chris, get the background of the history. I also was able to study focusing more on Broadway, that 600 block of Broadway, and identify sort of the character of what was Gary, and build on that an architectural identity that sort of set the framework for a lot of what you're going to see, the housing styles. Excuse me. So I'm going to switch gears here and go to this slide. Sorry. So these are samples of some work we've done at our firm. I'm showing these because they're examples that show, this is sort of a before and after slide. The ranch, the 60s ranch on the far right is what the house used to look like. And then our implementation is on the left. And so you can see in these examples, I'm implementing design standards, detailing that are help build a greater character for the neighborhood, that it's appropriate for the neighborhood. So I'm very capable and used to doing that sort of thing where we're attaching an identity to the home. This is This is another example. The photograph in the middle is a home where really all we did is we added an architectural element, a front porch, to the home, completely transformed the look of it. It was a basic architectural implementation, but again, through the detailing, we were able to enhance it, uplift it to that. And then this third image is a sketch image. This is actually under construction now, but the far right image is another ranch home. And then these drawings below are going to be our implementation of the design. And then I'll show you really quick. There I am. That was me at the charrette in Gary, doing the work, studying the architectural identity, like I said, analyzing some of your the existing characteristics of a lot of your historical buildings, and then bringing those ideas and those elements into the design proposal. And that brings me to the actual proposal for my work. So what our firm would be doing is generating the construction drawings for all of the 8, in this case for Gary, we have 8 housing types. So the proposal is laid out in that way, where there's basically a cost for each housing type for generating those construction drawings. Why is it important to have construction drawings? Beyond the obvious, having a blueprint or a detailed set of drawings. In our office, we actually say that your building is really only as beautiful and successful as the drawings are. If the drawings are successful or if they're detailed well, then you're on the road to having a successful building. It takes the guesswork for builders to have a full set of drawings that outlines exactly what it is they need to do. And it also sort of fulfills all the goals and the efforts that you went to in the beginning process. The charrette, all the work. This is just an extension of that to make sure that the end goal is what you perceived in the beginning. So each housing type, there's a cost, like I said. Those costs are basically generated, we work hourly, so we do this all the time, so we know, generally speaking, how long each housing type is going to take, how many hours it will take. So you'll see that obviously the smaller structures are less expensive for the construction drawings than the larger structures. And that's basically it, unless there's some questions for me, which I'm happy to answer anything about our process or anything specifically about the proposal.
I would like to say thank you, because last meeting we was concerned. We had some questions, and that's why we request that you all come up here and make a presentation. And so we only have one commissioner's not here, but I'm pretty sure if he has some questions, he'll get back, with Chris about that. But I appreciate you all taking time to come out here and make the presentation. It makes it much more clear for us commissioners when we decide on how we're going to move forward.
Okay,
so
great.
We don't have any questions from commissioners. We can move on. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much. The commission will now move on to items number 8, which is our new business. Resolution number 7607, Mr. Harris.
Thank you, President Stallings. Resolution 7607 is a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and awarding real property from the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission to private owners via the City of Gary's adjacent property program, aka My Gary, My Lot. Before us for this month's Redevelopment Commission meeting, we have the following The following requests. Let's see, we have 2237 East 19th Place, 1012 Hanley Street, 429 West 41st Avenue, 765 Van Buren, 4226 West 22nd Place, 837 Georgia Street, and 2404 Washington Street. Understand that this program is pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-14-22.6, where the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission will receive and consider written offers for acquisition of the above mentioned properties. So I think in our typical fashion or flow, we ask for the petitioners to each come one by one and just give a brief description of their request, their ownership of their existing property, and what their intentions are for the side lot that they're seeking to request from the Gary Redevelopment Commission.
Okay.
So we'll start from the top. Is the petitioner for 2237 East 19th Place. President. Moving on to 1012 Hanley Street. Just present your name, address, and just a brief summary of your history at this property and what your intentions are. You can see.
Come this way so we can see you all.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you all doing today?
Great.
Good. My name is Marilyn Harper. This is my daughter Desiree Jacobs.
Okay.
We own 1020 Hanley Street. And for the past 10 plus years, I have been mowing, cleaning up, making sure that 1012 Hanley Street is kept up. I have gone through several lawnmowers. I'm old, I done broke my back, my knees, and everything else, trying to make sure that our street, our community remains clean and kept properly. I have paid people when I could not do the work to come in to mow, to clean, to weed, to do it all so that, once again, our community, our street can remain beautiful. I am requesting this property, 10 plus years of taking care of it, and not asking the city for anything other than to work with me on this property, and I just feel like I worked and I deserve to have that property.
All right. Just would like to see your petitioners. Thank you all so much for coming today. We're gonna be moving on this today.
So do I leave or?
No, you can stay right here.
You will let me know today?
You will know in a little while.
That's
You
what.
got any questions?
I appreciate that. That's it. Thank you.
Next petitioner.
Yep, the next petitioner would be 429 West 41st Avenue.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Sean Foster. I was born and raised right here in Gary. And so to kind of piggyback on her, I too have a property on 429 West 41st Avenue. Unfortunately, as vibrant as 41st Avenue used to be, I am the only house standing. And if I don't maintain some of the vegetation around me, you won't see my house no more. So I have done just that. Maintained enough from the corner to me so that at least it's not a scary environment getting in and out of the property. Unfortunately, the rest of it is highly grown. So my intention to the property is to continue to maintain it and eventually maybe even build me another home or something so that I'm not the only one standing. All right.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yes. 765 Van Buren.
Good evening.
Hi, Jeff.
My name is Beverly Jelks, and this is my daughter Tammy.
Yeah.
And I've been living at 759 Van Buren for quite a while.
Yes.
In the beginning, it was a gorgeous area, but people started to move away. Things started to happen. properties burned, and then the environment was just left the way it was. But in the past 20 years, I've been taking care of a side lot property that's by me, cutting grass, and I've removed trees, and that's quite expensive. And I still have trees to move. And I think this is a beautiful program because it gives me a chance to do some further things with my property. I could even extend my property line, build more on there. There are so many things you could do, but right now I'm interested in the landscaping because it's a beautiful area. It's a gorgeous area. And I want to keep it that way. And I've had most of the work done as far as cutting trees, but I still have some more work to do.
Okay, thank you, Ms.
Beautiful
Jones.
program.
Yes, I know exactly where it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
4226 West 22nd Place. Is that petitioner here?
I think they're here.
They're not. Okay. 837 Georgia Street. And 2404 Washington Street.
He couldn't be here today.
It's up to the commission. I think the commission
Do we want
was
to-
pretty fluid with those rules.
You want to pass them all together? You want the person to
I think it all together. They've always done it that way.
The chair will entertain a motion for passage of resolution number 7607.
If they ever show up, council reject, yeah.
Chair will entertain a motion for the resolution 7607.
So move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments from commissioners?
I just have one
Mr.
comment.
Washington.
I don't want to be a stickler. Obviously, I want everyone who showed up today you're going to get the property. But for council purposes, when things do get moved to council, if you don't show up, you don't get approved. And, today I think we're being very lenient because we're going to award you all the properties. But to anyone else who's interested in this program, we want to meet you. We want to get to know your intentions. Otherwise, I'm going to say this, there could be an individual who didn't show up who's a land shark and is looking out to get property from us without doing due diligence. So for our Gary citizens who are here, I appreciate you. So the answer is going to be yes. But going forward, for individuals who don't show up, I don't want to be that guy. But in Gary Common Council, that's how we do business, just because we want to make sure you're doing the right thing. So that's just my input. But thank you.
And my question and comment is be to the staff, have you all sat down and met with these individuals?
Yes.
That are not
So I
here?
thoroughly vet all of the applications I've received. I make sure that they are legitimate residents. I press them hard on that. I make sure that I ask and I ask again. I verify identification. I verify that they are, that their taxes have been paid on their current property. I vet utility bills when needed. I make sure that they are who they say they are, so I am doing that diligently. So I make sure that we have gotten applications where people are trying to get exactly what you're saying, so I make sure that we get a lot of those. So I make sure to consistently check that, because we do get a lot of bad sharks and bad people who want to resell lots.
So pretty much
we're
saying,
diligently checking for that.
pretty much saying that the staff is doing the work. And
I'm
then
doing the work.
we want to meet the people.
Correct.
But, we have to put our faith
I
in the
will say that
staff.
for some of the ones that aren't here today, they had to work. It's 4 o'clock and they can't be here, they're at work. There's about 2 or 3 that could not be here today because they're at work.
Okay. I agree 150% with Mr. Wissington. Councilman
No,
Wissington.
I understand.
So we will approve these today. But for the public, if you want a side lot program, if you want to be a part of the side lot program, you need to be at our meetings when we discuss your particular piece of property. If you cannot be at that meeting,
okay,
we will move it to the next meeting that you can be there. So I just want to make that clear.
I will let
let them know and let the
3
public
know
know.
that they will need to show up for the October meeting then.
And that's just a way of checks and balances and maintaining our transparency
Absolutely.
with this redevelopment commission. Okay. Got any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
And Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
And President Stallings.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move to resolution number 7608, a resolution of the Board of Redevelopment Commissioners, City of Gary, accepting the transfer of 1911 through 19 Matthews Place from a private owner to the Redevelopment Commission. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, President Stallings. So again, resolution 7808 is a resolution, 7608 is a resolution accepting the transfer of 1911 to 1919 Matthews Place. Understanding that this is a buildable lot in a relatively attractive neighborhood, and we like the opportunity to be able to acquire this property for redevelopment purposes, single-family home construction.
You've heard the staff. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any other questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
And President Stallings.
Yes.
With 4 ayes, the motion passes.
Resolution number 7609, Mr. Harris.
Thank you. Resolution 7609 is a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the transfer of funds between capital improvements line item and professional services line item within the non-reverting fund. The commission, the department, we wish to move $232,000 of capital improvements from Series 44900 to professional services line item 43110, with the intent of being able to satisfy our commitments with Aegis, for professional services for environmental work, Green Tree, $149,000 for environmental work as well prior to demolition, and then Smith Sursick, $20,000 for our unsafe building hearing process, with the total amount of that transfer being $232,000, again from capital outlay 449-110 to professional services 43-110.
You heard the staff. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Are there any questions or comments from Commissioner Rogie?
On Queen Street, what exactly do they do?
Sure. So that's environmental remediation. So environmental work prior to demolition. So similar to Aegis. So for example, if we discover that we have asbestos material within the structure, they're abating that material from the structure prior to demolition.
So they take the stuff out, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Very good.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
And President Stallings.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Yes.
Can you go back to 7607? I said something at the time that I didn't make.
Okay. Commissioner Dunham would like to rewind and just make a comment about resolution number 7607.
Sure.
We went so fast. I just want to say that we appreciate those of you who came for the sign lots, and we appreciate the work that you want to do, the work you've been doing. So I want to say that we move along really fast, but I live in a neighborhood. I live close to 10th and Hanley, and so I know there's a lot of work to be done in those neighborhoods, and so I just want to say that as a resident here as well. We like to see things beautiful. I say that as a woman on this commission. Yeah. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Okay.
Excuse me, can I ask a question? I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful.
Go right ahead.
So, behind you approving it, do we get deeds today, or do we leave and go back someplace to pick it up?
They'll be scheduled. So everyone that's approved today will be able to contact you directly, and we'll be able to schedule an appointment where you can pick up your deed.
So we can leave then?
Yes. If you need to leave right now, yes.
Or you're more than welcome to stay with it.
Or you're more than welcome to stay. And we want to thank you. Right. You're right.
So we're holding them hostage.
No, don't do that at the end. You're right. Okay, resolution, we still voting? 7610.
We're on 7610.
Okay, resolution number 7610. Mr. Harris?
Okay, thank you, President Stallings. Resolution 7610 is a resolution the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission awarding property located at 3716 Massachusetts, and authorizing a purchase agreement between Armand Investment Group and the Redevelopment Commission. Armand Investment Group was the sole bidder on 3617 Massachusetts Street in the amount of $2,000 for a parcel that Mr. Armand has been taking care of adjacent to this property on 37th and Broadway.
Okay, that's Mr. Armand.
Yeah.
Good evening, Commissioner. Sorry for the attire. I was in the field all day. So again, this property, as you all know, well, for those who don't know, I've been rehabbing properties in the city of Gary for over 16 years now. As a real estate investor, I buy properties, fix them up, and rent them out. And most recently, in the previous years, 2 years, I ventured over to commercial property. We have on 37th and Broadway a shared office space where we rent out. We bought that building and we renovated it and we turned it into a shared office space where local business owners who don't have a place to conduct business, they use our space to host meetings, conferences, private office, and there's also a small restaurant in front, King's Wings and things. Now, right south of that building, there was a vacant lot that was owned by the city of Gary, and we purchased it because we had redid everything on our building, and it still is a very nice looking building. We transformed that corner on 37th and Broadway, and so the lot had a lot of overgrown trees and things like that, but it was owned by the city of Gary. We negotiated, we bought it, and we cleared the lot. We didn't do any development on it, but we at least cleared it, got gravel rock on there just, and we used it for parking and things like that, and it just took the eyesore, the trees and stuff that was right on Broadway. And the lot currently on 37th in Massachusetts sits right behind the lot that we got from the city last year. So right off of Broadway, you can see the trees, and they look exactly the same as the lot in front. And I partnered with the City of Gary Police Department because we caught people dumping in that lot, and so I gave them access to my cameras to both for the alley on Broadway, both on the alley and on Broadway going north and south, just to catch and prevent people from dumping in those lots behind us. And so what I intend to do with this lot is, it's a very small lot, at least just get it cleared and secured and just maintain it until we come up with some other development plans.
Okay. You've heard petitioner. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Are there any additional questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
And President Stone?
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Armand. Thank you. Resolution number 7611, Mr. Harris.
President Stallings, resolution 7611 is a resolution on behalf of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and ratifying a professional service contract with Smith Sursick to coordinate demolition efforts on behalf of the commission. The professional services contract is $20,000. This is an effort to steward our unsafe building hearing efforts. We have additional opportunities for demolition in the downtown area, and we'd like to utilize Smith Sursick to continue our unsafe building hearing process to coordinate with our demolition team and Public Works for more blight removal in our city.
You heard the staff report. What is the pleasure of the commission?
I'll move to approve 7610.
Second.
11.
Thank you.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Are there any other questions or comments from commissioners? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie?
Yes.
And President Stone?
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
I'll move to resolution number 7612. Mr. Harris.
Thank you. Resolution 7612 is a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the contract with Carriage House Studio to provide pre-approved housing templates for the City of Gary. So just like what you've heard in the presentation this morning, this is an opportunity for us to be able to have 8 housing templates for the City of Gary to be developed by Carriage House. It's the intent that we share those costs with another municipality here in the state of Indiana, Elkhart. be able to go hand in hand. Their building stock is very similar to ours, but having the opportunity to have quality housing templates for our local developers who, beat down my door about this opportunity to develop in the city. They're really looking for this opportunity, and we hope that the commission sees the opportunity for us to be able to move forward with Carriage House.
Okay, you've heard the staff. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Can I make a comment, or do I have to make the?
You can make it, then we can.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept Resolution 7612.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? Ms. Donald?
So just I know at the last meeting we did, went into depth about the templates. Why do we need the templates, And so you did make it clear, to improve our city and to make it better. I know you said you did high end, but you're trying to, make it moderate for us. I think that, thank you for the presentation. And so that's my comment.
My comment is thank you to Ms. Kick, because you came and provided us with what Carriage House has done for Kalamazoo. And so that's made a big difference. What we really want on this commission is that when you come forward with different proposals and contracts, especially these of these magnitudes, we would like to see a presentation, and that you all gave us was very good. So if there are not any other questions, yes, Mr. Whitson.
To Mr. Harris, just to clarify, so the citizens are not obligated to one of these 8 renderings when they seek to develop in the city of Gary?
No.
Okay. Roll call, Mr. Seaver.
Commissioner Whittington.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Roby.
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yes. Resolution number 7613, Mr. Harris.
All right, Resolution 7613 is a resolution of the Gary Redevelopment Commission approving and authorizing the proposed Gary Redevelopment special tax-based budget for fiscal year 2026. And the special resolution, for the special budget, tax-based budget for 2026 includes my salary, Mark Cilio, and funding our Economic Development Director. Now, understand that we had tabled our salaries until we could make adjustments for Mr. Cilio, which I appreciate, and that has gone before the council, but we just wanted to make sure that we close the loop on our side with the approval of that 2026 salary budget, so then the council can move forward for formal approval.
Chair will entertain a motion.
So move.
I'll second it.
Been moving properly second. Are there any questions or comments from?
Now, when I looked at it, I didn't see any increase in salary for Mark Cassidy. Is that, am I looking at an old one here?
I'd like to see your copy. 526. You should have been bumped up to 5,000 to 50,000 is his base.
Yeah. So
well then I'm okay with that.
Is that copy?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
All right.
Let me see. This is 44.
That's the old.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what was given to me.
Okay.
Proposal, we see where it's on the proposal.
It's 44 to 49.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, it's there. Good. All right, now, if there aren't any other questions or comments, roll call, please. Mark?
Apologize. Commissioner Whittington.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Roby.
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Yeah. Now move on to resolution number 7614, Mr. Harris.
Sure. Thank you, President. Resolution 7614 is a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and approving a donation letter from the National Park Service as it relates to conducting due diligence for parcels to be donated to the National Park Service. So I do see Rafi Wilkinson here in the crowd with the National Park Service. I think I'd like for Rafi to come up and give a general overview for the commission about our donation efforts to be able to secure and build the Marquette Greenway Trail. We're on, I think, phase 1, and this is a part of the process, so I just want Rob to be able to give a general overview for the commission's sake.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, commissioners. Yeah, thank you. So I do work for Indiana Dunes National Park. We've been working with the city for actually, decades on trail initiatives and stuff, but specifically for Marquette Greenway. Picked up about 10 years ago and in earnest around 2019. And there are just some parcels of land in an abandoned rail corridor known as might become the Gary High Line in the future, but it's called the Dune Park Branch. And we began working with the Redevelopment Commission because we as the federal government could not acquire them, but the Redevelopment Commission could, and so we worked out a plan to gain these remaining small itty-bitty parcels so that we could put the Marquette Greenway through Gary. The National Park, we're building this out in 3 phases. Phase 1, hopefully you should go look now, drive up anywhere between Lake Street or Grand Boulevard or County Line Road over by West Beach, and you'll see that the trail is set to start the asphalt paving of it next week. And we hope that no later than January, we'll drop a brand new bridge in at Grand Boulevard, opening that whole section to the community. And I'm also happy to report that we secured the internal approvals to go forward and design out the section from Lake Street at our Paul Douglas Center all the way to Union Station at Broadway. Still a couple of years out, but a big hurdle that we can now spend funds to design that. And so what I'm asking for tonight is a specific approval to donate 5 of these little platted parcels over in Miller after 6 years of work now with Commissioner Rogie and others and the Redevelopment Commission to be able to get these in so that we can then in phase 2 actually put the trail on across those little parcels.
Great. Any questions or comments?
No. I was just saying I'm very happy. I'm hoping to make the to ask for the resolution 7614 to be passed.
Is that your?
That's what I want to do.
I get a second?
Second.
And it's been moved and properly second that we pass resolution number 7614. If there are any more questions from commissioners, we can roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes, it's been a long road.
And President Stone.
Absolutely, yes.
For my records, who made the first motion?
And
who second?
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir,
Thank you.
for your
Thank you very much.
Continue luck on your project. Resolution number 7615.
All right, resolution 7615 is a resolution of the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission authorizing and approving site access agreement for the property located at 6300 Miller Avenue. Okay, and I have my attorney that is here to explain the site access agreement for the site.
Thank you, Steve. Attorney Jenkins.
All right, so yeah, the purpose of resolution 7615 is just a simple site access agreement. There are 3 different organizations that are collaborating together for a community trunk or treat event. They actually did this last year as well using the same lot. This is the 6300 Miller Avenue, the rear lot, the part that's owned by the Redevelopment Commission. There are some other parcels nearby that are owned by the City of Gary, and one is a private entity, but we're only concerned with that rear lot that used to be the Ralph's food grocery store. So it's the, I think it's also been done in conjunction with Lloyd Latham from the First District. There's CARE and Women in Steel. Those are the sort of nonprofit organizations that are hosting the event. But they just need that particular lot on October 18th. So we're just hoping to get the site access agreement today to allow them to access that property for that particular day. And then the site access will terminate after that.
Okay. Good enough. You heard the staff. What is the pleasure of the commission?
I make a motion that we accept resolution 7615.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second. Are there any other additional comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Wissington.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham.
Yes.
Commissioner Rogie.
Yes.
And President Stone.
Yes.
There is the motion passed.
Good. Resolution number 7616.
All right, that'll be me.
Okay.
So thank you, commissioners. So the purpose of resolution 7616 is actually an intergovernmental transfer. It's a simple joint resolution. Board of Works has a similar resolution. Whenever you do an intergovernmental transfer, both bodies in the governmental agencies have to pass similar mirroring resolutions. So this is regarding property 733-51 Washington Street. So the reason this property is being transferred from the city of Gary to the Redevelopment Commission is this property needs to be in the hands of the Redevelopment Commission in conjunction with the blight elimination efforts under Senate Bill 434. So we're just simply doing that one-to-one transfer for $0 between intergovernmental entities today. So with that said, we ask that the commission approve resolution 7616.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. If there aren't any other questions or comments from commissioners, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
And President Stahl?
Yes.
4 ayes, the motion passes.
Now we can include it. Another action item. So we have an action item under other business. Mr. Jenkins?
All right. So to explain, this is also a similar joint resolution regarding blight elimination under Senate Bill 434. This authorizes the RDA to demolish certain blighted structures within the city of Gary. So this is also a joint resolution. The reason this is kind of an action item instead of numbered under our normal numbering system, we're simply going to approve the same resolution that the Board of Works approved earlier this morning. It's a joint resolution. These are properties that are owned by the Redevelopment Commission, which also includes now 733-51 Washington. So we're a party to this agreement. We want to give that additional authority for the RDA to go ahead and initiate the procurement process and then the furthering demolition of these structures that's in your packet. There's roughly 7 to 10 structures within that packet. And we're giving the RDA that authority to go ahead and initiate the procurement process and then demolish these properties. So are there any questions I can answer? Otherwise, we're asking you all to make a motion to approve this joint resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second. If there aren't any other questions or comments from commissioners, roll call, please.
Commissioner Whittington?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunham?
Yes.
Commissioner Roby?
Yes.
And President Stahl?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. We are now at number 10 on our agenda, which is director comments. Director Harris.
Okay. Thank you, President Stallings. I just wanted to be able to share, well, first off, I want to rewind. I want to acknowledge my 5th grade, because my 5th grade teacher, Ms. Jelks here, I was very surprised to see her here. I'm very happy that she was able to participate in the side law program and kind of comes full circle, like product of Gary Community Schools. Like very, very proud to be that and very proud to see
Thank
you
you.
here.
I'm proud of you also. I'm always proud to see one of my former students doing well. Thank you.
Awesome, no problem, no problem. But definitely, Gary Community School Corporation, like, let's go. But also, just want to give everyone a reminder that we do have our downtown Gary Marketplace this Saturday from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Thank you to Mark Celio, a big thank you to him, round of applause, because he's really curated, worked hard to be able to bring activity back into downtown. It's so important to be able to retrain our residents that we do have a downtown, and this will be our 6th marketplace. I know we had a couple weather delays in between, but being able to be consistent in downtown, our vendors, between 25 to 30 vendors that have been participating on a bi-weekly basis, we definitely appreciate their support. We just want to make sure that we're making their presence known and visible moving forward. We're going to come up with some creative opportunities in the fall and moving forward in 2026. So wanted to thank Mark publicly for that, along with support with Angel Knight and Nezzy Redwood, our Economic Recovery Corps fellow. Next, I want to be able to just share that, we're moving forward in a fast clip. Very excited. Got some very positive news. Stay tuned. I can't announce that here, but the city is moving forward. We just want everyone to be patient with us. We're going to have some kinks along the way, but as you can see, we're all rowing in the same direction to be able to expedite and encourage more growth and lowering down the barriers of entry to be able to allow us to scale the new construction in our community. We're working with doing planning and zoning, right? We passed our comprehensive plan. We're moving in a direction of being able to allow for developing on parcels that have been originally platted here that we made illegal to build in the 60s. So we're moving forward in that front. So we're all just trying to move in the same direction to be able to move the city forward in a positive way. We just appreciate the public for their understanding and their patience, and we're just very excited for the future. So my comments for this month.
Move on to, thank you, Director Harris. Commissioner comments? Whittington? Councilman?
I'll just say something. I just want to say thank you truthfully, when we talk about the Sidelight project specifically, this is definitely an opportunity for wealth ownership. When we talk about homeownership in the city of Gary in general, this is definitely a time to take advantage. I know I come off as a stickler. It's just because I know what this can do. I spend most of my day doing analysis for large corporations to do economic development. And I've seen what can happen when citizens are able to take advantage of certain situations and programs. But I also know what also happens. I know what happens when slumlords get a hold of property, when outside investors get a hold of things and neglect the history that takes place in certain communities. So I am tough on certain environments because this is my home city. I'm a byproduct of Gary, and I'm proud to be home. And that being stated, I just appreciate all of our citizens coming out and taking advantage of this. And anything I could possibly do to help you transition to developing new homes or home ownership or anything like that, you can always use me as a resource. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Commissioner Donald.
Yes, so I was happy to hear Corey's report on the Genesis Center, because you know that's a lot of our community, they want to hear about the Genesis Center, especially my husband. So I can go home and tell him, you know, that there is progress, and I'm glad that there were some local people who put in, because a lot of people are talking about it, so I'm glad they're putting in money where their mouth is. You know, when you ask for something, people give it to you, so they can't say, nobody asked us. And so it's good to see that all the lot program is really good. And things are moving pretty good. This is my 9th meeting as a commissioner, and so the year has moved so quickly, and so I don't know what the future holds for me on this commission, but it's been good for 9 months.
Good.
So, yeah.
Commissioner Rogie.
Well, I'm so happy to see that I've been working on the Marquette Trail, the bike path, since 1996. Now, that's a long time. And I tell you, it was like, it's never going to happen. Well, it is happening now. At least it is. And from County Line to Lake Street. Now, as far as any other areas go, I don't know. I mean, Porter County is a stickler. Nobody wants to bike paths in their backyard, that kind of thing. And then going the other way to connect into Hammond is very difficult, because we do have U.S. Steel and a number of other places that make it a mess, you know. But it can be done, and I think it will be done. But, you know, it's supposed to go from Chicago to Michigan, state of Michigan. And we're kind of the last cog in it. And, but it won't be, it'll be done from Gary, from Lake Street to County Line.
Thank you. And I just want to say thanks always to Chris and his staff, to Steve, to Marge, to Ms. Billingsley, to Corey Sharp, and my legal and anybody else out in that office that works hard. And also to our attorney that we don't do a lot of talking, to Ms. Tolbert. She's one of our attorneys for the redevelopment, and we really appreciate her. And also all those who made presentations today, took time out of your schedule to come out and make a presentation to help us as commissioners be a little bit more understanding as to what you're trying to do. And I know that oftentimes things seem like we're moving pretty fast. They move fast because, as the president, I try to make the attempt to reach out to our commissioners prior to the meeting when we get our packets to see what's going on. If you have any questions, let's talk about that now, because we have a list of things. But let's try to answer some of those things before we get to the meeting, and it works out fine. So I apologize. It seems like it's moving fast because we've done our homework. With that being said, thank you all for coming. You all have safe travels back home. And I take a motion for adjournment.
Oh, very good. I vote to adjourn.
All right. Thank you. All right.